welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am a songwriter, producer, and live act based in Philly. This is the second video in a series where I'm breaking down the project files from my new EP, Density, that I put out a couple months ago. Some backstory on this song, Wander. I had the beautiful opportunity to make it with my friends Scartoon and Carter Woodson. We initially wanted to make a more clubbier tune for a compilation series that my girlfriend does from time to time. Then Anthony and Carter had sent me some of the most beautiful recordings, like just really psychedelic, just unfolding guitars and bass and like percussive sounds that were really warm and ethereal and cerebral were the words that came to mind. The song came together very quickly, and it did need a lot of mixing, but it was one of those things where like we finished it and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be for the club boys. So it ended up being on the Density EP, and it's one of my favorite songs to play live right now. I love it. I feel like it completely resets the room and really gets me out of my nerves if I'm in them. And I feel like it's also really good for cooling down a set when I've been doing my little dance a little too hard and swinging my hips a little too hard. So without further ado, we can get into it. So we'll just work our way down from the top. The kick drum is from a free plugin. Decent Sampler is free from a incredible guy called Venus Theory. And this kit sounds great. The actual kit itself, Paper Drums, I want to say is like $5. Sounds pretty solid, and it's got a lot of great presets. So if you're looking for an acoustic kit that sounds good, I have been enjoying that lately. It's not sponsored. So I use that for just the kick pattern, and that's what this sounds like. Paper Drums is right, because I wanted something that had some to it. This next sound it's like sends of this cymbal. It's these three things. It's really soft cymbal sounds. It kind of makes me feel like I'm standing in a room full of mirrors, which I really like. And then this other loop kind of holds a groove, I want to say. This is from Anthony. Yeah, it's like a hi-hat, roomy, and I like that. And it helps kind of assert a groove. So Anthony gave me all of that, and I layered this hat loop, and I just chopped it up so it's just different hat hits from the same loop. And then I have two shakers that are panned in opposite directions. They could have been panned wider, in my opinion. And then I have another top loop that's chopped up like really weird. But it's to give the beat a more clanky feeling. And then I have a tom to do some fills. And it's very dry. I like toms that sound like this, that sound very acoustic and dry. So I guess I'll play all the tops really quick. So that's that. Next, I have snares. Anthony gave me this, like, he likes to play with these really roomy fill sounds that are fun. And I layered that with a rim and another rim and an actual snare hit, like a really dry sound. And then I have a fill sound that I want to say is from the same sample pack, but just built different. And then I have another snare that's doing like ghost notes. It's more thuddy. I can play all those together for you. And nothing's like processed. Nothing's panned. Nothing's EQ'd for real. I have an EQ on a snare group, but that's like it. It's just good. It's good sound selection. Next is the bass. This is just Carter playing. And I threw a saturator and an EQ on it. Maybe not the best EQ job. I wouldn't maybe do this again, but it sits with the drums really nicely. Next, I have the Harmonics. Anthony likes to do this like scream I called it scream because that's literally what it sounds like. He's really good at these, like distorted. It almost feels like horror movie vibes. Like that's his shit. And it really like adds a different texture to the song, and that I think is incredibly unique. There's this guitar track that we're going to ignore because I clearly muted it. Some guitars from Carter. There's two, and they're panned wide. One has an EQ on it, and it's very dry. There's no like effects that I'm aware of, aside from the group. But what makes it different from the other is this like, it's much more washed out, and it's got some more like low end bleed, which is fun. So they have their place. And they make room for the bass as well. I wanted to cut out low end to make room for the bass tone that I think is, everybody has their room, their room in the house, you know? After that, I have textures. This is really fun. This track opened up a lot for me. I have a mallet sound here. Very Contra vibes. Shout out J-Views. This other one is another J-Views sample, but what I did is I'll reverse a sample and then stretch it with this guy, with the Ableton one, with the Ableton stretcher thing. And then I'll run that with either echo or delay. And that space effect is kind of what gives it the more sound effect transition sweep feeling. And so that's what this is. This next sound, Gorgeous Swell. This is a print of a fucking awesome session, some sound design session that I had, and things just clicked in a really beautiful way, and I saved the sound, but like I couldn't tell you, like if I wanted to change the key, I don't think I know how to do that. This is what it sounds like on its own. Like, it's so me. It's so my vibe. So I printed it, and that's what this is. And I've sidechained it to the kick. I took out some low end, and that's pretty much it. And it's tuned to the song. I want to say it's stretched too. Feels that way with how it breaks apart. But anyways, next I have a pedal tone. Usually these are just like bounces of wavetable and an operator with like a Sound Toys plugin. You can do whatever delays you want. Rift is really good for this kind of thing too, if you know how to control the distortion. Next I have some like mallet tones, which give things like a feeling of a chord. This other pedal I really like a lot because it's very lo-fi sounding. It's really funny that I didn't pan these in the opposite direction. That's actually very fucked up of me. Next I have this drone that's just like the stock basic brass pad. Just holding one note. But it sounds awesome in the context of all of this. Yeah, I love this song so much. Finally, I have my vocal. This is one of those songs that I've said what I said and I didn't think much about it and I didn't want to change it, but it feels like, I don't know, like a chant, and I go into a trance when I sing it and I feel good when I sing it, and so I stuck with it. What's also funny is that I used my stock like guitar rack that I got from Rindu. Yeah, that's really funny that I used the guitar racks on this. That's so ass. I wouldn't recommend doing that. And I also have this auto pan that's doing a tremolo effect on the song all the way throughout. So by the end of it, it sounds like this. And the vocals also sidechain to the kick, which I wouldn't normally do, but the vocals in this song are more so meant to be a textural element and not like the focal point of the song. I feel like the focal point of the song is Carter. Finally, I guess it's worth noting there's some like EQ automation going on here too, just to make the song feel darker in the breakdowns. Especially like here. And just washing the vocal out for the breakdown. That's like pretty much all it is. Finally, for my master chain, as usual, I have the stock multiband compression. I have FabFilters Pro L, which I'll usually have set to stylish all around limiting. I don't know what happened here, but it's usually on this. And then a loudness meter for fun. And this is what I used to stream. So yeah, that's it. That's the song. I really enjoyed making this track so much. I love when I get to make music with my friends, and it's been really cool to be in a place now where I'm finally understanding how I can keep exploring electronic music and pushing my sound in that way and pushing this project in that way when it's something that I feel like I do pretty well. But then there's this whole aspect of live performance and singing and playing with a band that I grew up with. And I feel like I'm only recently understanding how those sounds sit together with timbres and even my workflow with my friends. I have very, very patient, understanding friends, and I feel like this record kind of it feels like it symbolizes that in a lot of ways, both in its in the timbre and the flavor of the song, and also just how I get to work with these guys. So huge shout out to Anthony and Carter for helping me put this together. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe and hit the like or bell or whatever. I don't fucking know anymore. I'll be back with 2 more songs that are on this record. And I also want to do other stuff. I want to play jams. I want to yap. I have so much to yap about all the time. And I'm feeling the urge to write new music. And I'm wondering if I should just like do that on here, since I'm no stranger to it. It's just been a long time. I don't know. I want to be free. Yeah. So that's all I got to say. I'll see you in the next one. Please be safe. Be well. Take care of each other. I love you. Okay, bye.